Yes, of course, Asia is a focus for us in terms of expansion. It's been a focus over the last few years. We did open several distribution centers around different countries in Asia. On both business units, we've done a lot. We recently opened like a greenfield development on the RFID with a pretty big and now fully up and running plant in China. So clearly Asia on all of our segments is a relevant market. So whatever we find that is interesting, A, to complete the product range, B, to kind of get closer to our customers, we are interested. Specifically, when it comes to Arjo China value proposition, it meant for Federigoni to complete our product range into the packaging applications. Not only, but translucent papers made in Arjo China are actually a pretty good substitution for plastic when it comes to see-through or partially see-through components into a box or other packaging components. So totally consistent with the need of plastic replacement into packaging. That follows a number of other initiatives we had in that space and also in the right geography. So we are super happy about that.
I think we are opening a further possibility in this plastic to paper transition. So that's where the synergy is has been quite obvious for Federigoni Group, and I fully share this viewpoint. Is that Federigoni is already very big into transitioning from plastic to paper, and we are just adding an additional layer, I would say, with highly functionalized paper. We are bringing an additional brick, I would say, to the wall of sustainability. Through addressing new markets as well, like food, beverage, and also the traditional market of Federigoni, which is luxury packaging.
Well, at Federigoni, I mean, we approach sustainability in a pretty holistic and most importantly fact-based approach. That really means nailing down what they need and how we can serve those needs with the lowest, let's say, environmental impact possible, which is not only about our products, of course that's very relevant, like CO2 footprint, waste, water, etc., but also on how our products are used downstreams into their products and how that impacts the sustainability footprint. And of course, moving out of plastic towards paper is something, of course, we love, but it's not as, I mean, it's easier said than done when it comes to also ensuring, while doing that, the same technical feature. So it's a lot of development, it's a lot of research, and a lot of partnership, both upstream with our suppliers and downstream with our customers, to really look at the full cycle of our products and their products, as opposed to only, let's say, narrow the scope into what we deliver to them.
So the translucent papers, that is definitely a market partially explored today, but with much more potentiality behind, is super interesting for us as Federigoni Special Papers. Why so? Because the translucent paper in the shape and form that we know today is kind of a vintage, approach on publishing. You would be very happy in the luxury publishing book to see, some translucent paper that would somehow, present chapters to your book. It also rings a bell to your childhood somehow, because the translucent papers are very much used in art and drawings as well. But what makes it different and what brings more, let's say, substance and material to us in our portfolio is the DNA of this translucent special paper, Silvicta, that comes from that acquisition. Why so? Because we are elevating creativity not only in a way that this product can be brought to the packaging world as well, it also gives the possibility to intrinsically have some barriers, some properties that enable these plastic to paper path. In few words, translucent papers that is mainly today used in publishing will have an impact on packaging. So if you think about that example, which is a co-creation that we've done with one of our client called PO Group. We basically here are talking about a home fragrance that is embraced and contained in a translucent paper without having, you know, the perfume, the fragrance going out of this packaging, because thanks to the intrinsic properties of Sylvicta, we have the possibility to cover the same properties as what we could imagine in a packaging made out of plastic, for example. So thanks to different properties that this translucent paper has, such as anti-odor barrier, such as oil, grease barrier, or such as, you know, food contact properties, this solution becomes a fantastic opportunity for packaging to enter in a new area of paper, but not paper as we know potentially today, but translucent paper.
We normally, provide our customers with very sustainable and largely recycled and always recyclable papers for their packaging, especially boxes. So to mention one example, in many boxes you need the kind of see-through component that is typically made of plastic, which with translucent papers we can provide in paper, which makes the box that is done with our materials sort of monomaterial and fully recyclable, unlike when you have the plastic-based see-through. But that's also possible to use our translucent papers into packaging, for example, in electronics and consumer electronics in particular. You think about the iPhones and the likes, they normally have see-through now papers into components of their packaging. So the number of applications where translucent papers can enable plastic substitution, or more broadly a more sustainable packaging, are pretty wide.
That's a key topic, in fact, when Feligoni is purchasing a mill so far away in China. So sustainability has been a top priority in the mill for a number of years. Okay, so we are quite proud of what has been already achieved and what is on its way as well. So I'll give two very concrete examples. The first one is that we are, this month, we have just finished to install a new piece of equipment that will help us to reduce our water consumption by 50%. So that's 80,000 tons of fresh water that we will be saving, making us the most efficient in terms of water consumption in the whole group. So that's a very concrete achievement. Another one, and this has just been announced and signed off as an investment, we will be installing during this semester 10,000 square meters of solar panels on the roof of all the mill. This will obviously help us to generate a part of our own electricity. And for all the rest of the electricity that we still purchase, we are going to purchase 100% green electricity, meaning that at the end of the day, so by the end of June, our mill will be running fully on electricity produced by renewable energies. So that's two very concrete examples of what we have been already doing, and we've got many more projects to continue to reduce our carbon footprint.